for others that weren't able to make it to today's meeting. When we do post it onto our website, we do have our web folks who then, I believe they eliminate the names, or I'm not quite sure how it works, but from the last recording, there were no names included. So we are going to get started. My name is Linda Schatz-Bouchard. I'm the Executive Director of Shed Children's Campus. Alongside of me is Dina Hurley, the Director. We are here today. Could I also ask if folks could just go on mute and maybe just be here? If you could just see if you are not on mute, just for noise, if you could mute now, totally appreciate it. Thank you. So today's meeting is basically, we are going to be sharing with you our experiences. We have now been open for 7 weeks, running our summer programs here on the Shed property, both our younger children and our school-age children during this past 7 weeks with the new regulations through EEC. We have been waiting for finding out what the fall is looking like, and our understanding as we are reading is the hybrid model has been accepted for the Andover Public School. So we're going to spend a little time talking about our vision as the administrative team sat today, and really we're hashing through what the hybrid learning model looks like and how we believe we'll be able to support all of you during these transitions. You will also have an opportunity to give us feedback, because we do have some gray areas that we're thinking will work, but we need to hear from all of you, and we seek confirmation. Either it will work for you folks or not work for you. So again, I just want to say thank you. So during the last 7 weeks, we have been open for our summer programs, and we have approximately 140 children on our campus. We are on over 2 acres of land. And we have to say it has been very successful. With all of our policies and procedures and our protocols, they have been really, we've spent the past few weeks kind of playing around with them, and we're feeling very confident. We follow the guidelines of EEC, early education, from the state of Massachusetts and their regulations. We also follow the Andover Board of Health. We have been in communication with both agencies throughout these past 7 weeks, and always making sure we are following all regulations. Our goal for this summer was to offer a safe summer environment, but also more or less a very relaxed summer environment where children and really have that social emotional experience and friendship and being together. And we're feeling really good about that. Again, I'm going to remind folks, if you could just put yourself on mute. There's a bit of background, not music, noise. That would be helpful. So that just to share with you a little bit about the summer. Did you feel like we needed to add anything more?
I don't think you've covered it. It's been good. I've been very happy.
It's been extremely happy. So with that, we now understand the hybrid model is happening for this particular in the fall for the community of Andover. So if I'm looking up, I have a bunch of whiteboard paper up in front of me. So we are proposing our preschool programs, which would be in the smallest shed building, that it's a 1-to-9 ratio because of our regulations. We are assuming EEC has not come out or rolled out new regulations. We are working with the regulations that are existing right now, which is the summer regulations. We don't think they'll be increasing our numbers nor increasing our hours. So with that, we're looking at an 8-hour day. Our preschool ratios would be 1-to-9, so a small pod classroom. And there would be 3 classrooms across the way in the smaller building. So it's a preschool mixed age group, 3- and 4-year-olds. And we are asking for folks to sign up for 5 days a week. And that just helps with all with scheduling and keeping each child in their pod. So that's how our preschool would look. That's something what we're looking at for our preschool group. Our springboard groups would be, which is the pre-K and K group, would be a 1-to-10 ratio. We have a group that would be heading into kindergarten for 2021. And then we have 2 springboard group with 1 forest classroom, which would basically be a pre-K and kindergarten group. And that would be an outdoor forest classroom. For our school-age children, following the hybrid learning model, we're looking at about 8 classrooms plus the great room. So how it breaks down in Andover, it's a Monday, Tuesday, group option 1, with Wednesday being everyone at home online, and then Thursday, Friday, option 2. We are looking as an organization to offer the support on the other days. So if you are a Monday, Tuesday, option 1, we would be offering care for your children on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, with a Wednesday as an option. So our understanding, our Wednesday, and we're still not clear how that will play out. We're not sure if parents would prefer to have their children at home on Wednesdays, or if there would be a group of parents who would be interested in having their child in on Wednesday. You have some music playing. We're also following messages right now. So going back to the Wednesday alternating, we're still looking at that, and we do need your feedback on that one on the Wednesdays. Then on Thursday, Friday, we would alternate. So the options for the after school would be, your choices would be a Monday, Tuesday, a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or a Thursday, Friday. So that is what we're looking at. We believe as an organization, we have been one of the leaders out there right now statewide. We have many organizations who are getting in touch with us, finding out how we are doing things and how and what do our systems look like. And I have to say, working hand in hand with EEC and also our local Board of Health, we have been feeling really comfortable and confident on all of our protocols and systems that we have in place, that we could safely have our children back with us in a caring, nurturing place. So folks are asking questions. Do you want to go ahead?
So the first, oops, a few more coming through. So the first one is a springboard class. Is there a half-day class option as there was this past year, or is it also 8 to 4, 5 days a week? So springboard will be a full day. We're still working on the exact time of that day, and it will be 5 days a week for springboard.
I think you'd also mentioned something about a pre-K outdoor forest class. Is that a half-day class, or only afternoon program? Is that how many days a week?
So that forest class right now, we are looking at 5 days per week. The question we are looking at, whether it's going to be a half day or a full day, we're not quite clear. We're still working through that on the forest, because the children will be outdoors the entire time.
Okay, that was my question. So they will be outside the whole time?
Correct.
Right.
What's the age group for that one?
So the age group on that one would be pre-K and kindergarten, so 4 and up.
And specifically, when you say 4 and up, does the child have to be turning 4 during that year? Or my child, for example, is born in November, so he'll be turning 4. Do you guys have a specific cutoff? Or?
So we're looking at, they are able to enter that if they're entering kindergarten in 2021.
Got it. Thank you.
I see some of the questions. Will you assist with APS scheduled learning activities in the Chromebook or live student directed activities? So the plan is that we will, as far as we can tell so far, that we will be asking students who come on their remote days to have their devices, to have headsets, and we'll be here to support as much as possible. We don't know exactly what that will look like because we don't have the full plan out from the school as to what that will look like, but our plan is to be here assisting with that. I think that was asked again.
Can I hop in and follow up on that, Dina? I just had a question regarding Springboard versus kind of like the older, I know you said sort of people who would be going into kindergarten this year. Is there an option for like an older class? It's almost like a kindergarten alternative, or is it really just Springboard again? I'm just trying to get a feel for, would it be different? Would it be the same? And would it be a true kindergarten alternative?
So it's a little tricky still. So what we're looking at is it would be an outdoor alternative. So it wouldn't be academically based kindergarten. I think it would be through the outdoor learning, through play, through the sort of the way we offer things, because it will not be like a full, it's not in a school. So I don't know if I'm answering that completely, but I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm just wondering if it's going to be Springboard and you're just welcoming 5 and 6 year olds now to Springboard, or if it's going to be any different than what they may have just finished up with Springboard, if that makes sense.
We're still in the beginning phases of that, because we're trying to, this is new to us and we're trying to offer different options. Families have reached out and asked for that kindergarten piece because they didn't want to do kindergarten remotely. So we're trying as best as we can right now, starting from scratch, to offer that. So it could be slightly different ages, but it will be looking, I think, a little bit different than the Springboard would. But we don't have the exact layout just yet.
Nope, makes sense. Thank you.
Sorry, that wasn't complete. I'm going back to questions. What type of schedule for school age? So it will be full day on their non-school. So when the children are not in school, we will offer full day here for them. We will not have anything after school. So nobody will not be busing after school to the building.
So I just also want to answer, because folks may ask, well, why not? You know, my child's at school, want them to have outdoor and after school activities. The way that this model is set up, it's really to offer full day programming. And because of the COVID-19 and the new regulations, we're not able to be sharing spaces or sharing staff. It's very geared to the 1 to 10 children model in each class. So we have to be very careful about our timing and our staff and keeping children in smaller pods. So I just wanted to at least talk about that, unless they come up with new regulations. So we're kind of guessing right now. This is where the regs are going this coming fall. And it's how we ended up guessing what was going to happen for the summer. And we knew that they really liked their emergency care model, and that's what they ended up translating for us during the summer months. I do believe, working with EEC, I think they are liking this particular model that we're in right now. And to let you also know, we are loving it too, in a way, because it's a smaller grouping of children, and it's very intimate, really working with our children in their learning. So I wanted to at least talk a little bit about that. What type of schedule?
As far as grouping Springboard children by potential elementary schools, I don't know that is possible or would happen. Just the way we have to take the sign-in as they come, and we might not. We're not sure how they're going to come through to us, so we're not sure what schools they would go to, and we can only do certain numbers, and we'll have, like we said, 2 indoor classrooms, 1 outdoor. So it wouldn't be possible to have for all the schools.
So a lot of folks want to be talking about our kindergarten. So to let you know that we just started, so we're working with our awesome teacher, Nicole Pelletier, as we're designing and figuring out kindergarten. Right now, we have many Google Sheets going about what it's going to look like and possibilities. We do know it's going to be a forest classroom, but there's some of the finer details we're still working through. So anything that could be really important for all of you, because it seems like there's a lot of kindergarten interest here, we would love to hear from you. What is it that you would like to see? We know we could offer an awesome kindergarten, and we're looking at possibly a couple of choices. So again, we would love to hear from you, and as we're going ahead and planning. We do know one piece is going to be, you know, the forest kindergarten, being outdoors the whole time. So we do know we're ready for that.
Can I do, this is Beth, can you hear me okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay, just quickly though to clarify, I couldn't tell if you were saying that would be a kindergarten only forest classroom or if they would be with the 4-year-olds also.
Well, this is what we're playing with right now, because when we first started our conversation, we were talking about a kindergarten forest. That's where we were looking at. And then we were thinking, well, there may be some folks who are wanting both the pre-K and kindergarten combination. So we're kind of looking at it all. I don't know if that's answering your question, but that's, I mean, right now we're in the planning. We are going to be doing, you know, that, but I think we just need further information from all of you. What's important? Does that answer?
Yeah, just to,
Okay, yeah, I guess if we have, like, you know, like Jonah just did your springboard and he's going to be 6 in October, I would completely pull him from public schools to do a kindergarten with you guys, but
Yeah.
not if it was going to be also with like 4-year-olds. So
Gotcha.
I just was curious if they were going to be grouped with other kindergartners. So that's all. And I know you're still working.
No, so this is helpful for us because we're kind of playing with it, right? And we're kind of saying, what are we able to do? And that's helpful. So thank you.
yeah, and just to follow up to that question, so would the 9 students apply to the outdoor program as well? So if there's 2 or 3 groups of outdoors, those groups would be separate from each other, or would they be together?
I'm sorry, say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said there's this outdoor option that's being offered.
Yes.
I'm just wondering, at any given time, you know, if there's like how many kids would be outdoors, and would they be stayed within their pods, within their groups, or would they be intermingled so that it wouldn't just be the 10 kids?
No, it would be just the 10 kids.
Okay.
They're really keeping them the small pods, so it would be the same. It would be the 10 kids, and that's what we're looking at. Why we're saying we're transitioning to the 5 days a week. We that's something we had learned this summer.
Okay, so for the forest class, if I say at a pre-K, it would be either a half day or full day outside the whole day with just my child and 10 other kids.
Correct.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Would that apply to the staff, to the teachers as well? So the teachers that are with that group wouldn't be with any other group at any given time?
Correct. With the new, I mean, where we are with the regulations, that's exactly right, that we have the same staff member and the grouping of children.
Mm-hmm. Great, thank you.
The outdoor program, is that, I think we've been talking about a half day. Is that a 1 to 4 p.m. or what are the hours?
Again, we haven't clarified, and again, we're looking for information from you all, because we are looking at a full day there, and we're also looking at a half day.
Hi, Linda. This is Carla. I had one, Eberly. I had one question. I'm on the phone.
Hey, Carla.
About hi. In addition to the outdoor option, so for school-age kids, the ones that you're saying if they're in the Monday, Tuesday grouping, they could have maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the opposite. Does that apply to kindergarten age as well, in addition to the outdoor option?
Yeah.
Does that,
Yeah.
so meaning is there an option basically for kindergartners who do choose to stay in the public school system that they could follow that same schedule?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because our groupings would be like the K1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, and 5 and up. Those are the
Right.
grade groups, yes. Because if they're in the schools, that's how it would be. Those are the options.
Right. Right. Okay.
And to let you all know is that we are now navigating, because now we're imagining the 10 children in our classrooms with the one teacher, with their laptops, with their headsets, and then now creatively we're trying to navigate what is that all going to look like, so it's a really healthy environment. And then what we're also paying attention to is where does that play piece come when they're here on site. So there's that real intention of that they're going to school, but there's also a real heavy outdoor and play space for our children. Social and emotional is really what we're focusing on, supporting their academics, but also having them really, for us to be supporting them during their social, emotional, and being with one another.
Hi, this is Jeff Jaycock's question. I think I heard the answer, but I just want to confirm, and I see a couple chats mentioning it. So I had a daughter who was going into kindergarten this year, and she was going to be part of the after-school program with the busing. Sounds like that's canceled. And this would be almost like she either goes to the Andover school and she can go to the shed on those off days, or potentially she just goes to the shed 5 days a week. Did I get that right?
So I think it would
Yeah.
go to shed on the off days. So if she's in school Monday, Tuesday, you can choose us for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or just Thursday, Friday.
Thank you. Okay. And that would be outdoors?
It would be both. So we definitely have to incorporate the remote learning part for the children. And then we also want to make sure we incorporate, like Linda said, the play and outdoor time, so they sort of have a full rounded care.
Thank you. And then pricing, is that TBD, or do I find that on your website?
Yeah, or we're almost there. So
okay, cool. Gotcha. Thank you.
So
Thank you so much.
Can I ask a quick question just to build off of that?
Yes.
So what I heard was if they go on Monday, Tuesday, you would offer Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but you would not offer the after-school program on the Monday, Tuesday.
Correct, because of the limitations we have with our regulations. We cannot do, and we can't add children into a group, and just because they're limiting into one. So it's kind of, unfortunately, that's the way that's how it's looking right now. Like, we really looked at the model this morning. We've been looking at it, and we're hoping this fulfills all of our families' needs in some way. And I do want to say, as a local nonprofit organization, our whole beginnings, and we were created by a group of parents in Andover back in 1984 who needed care around their wraparound half-day kindergarten programs. And SHED stands for Shawshene Extended Day, because it was housed out of the Shawshene school. So just a little history there. And, you know, for Dina and myself, we've been a part of this organization for 29 years. And, you know, it's in our heart and soul, and how we service our community. So we really are looking for all of our parents. How may we serve you during these times and your children?
Hi, can I ask a quick follow-up question? So
yeah.
For the full day, what time is going to be the time? So we'll be running from 9 to 3:30 or 9 to...
Great question. Great question. So we're still waiting from the schools, because we're looking at like how they're even busing, and we do know our drop-off system works out great, and we know we can get our children in and out here. 140, 150 children in and out in about 30 minutes with our systems in place. We've been playing around right now. Our staff arrive at 8:30, 10 minutes of 9, and this is, again, we're not quite sure. 10 minutes of 9, we start accepting children on site, and we go till 4:30. that's what we'll kind of playing around with, because we're looking at the possibilities. What does it mean for all the busing? Because we're trying to pay attention for what's happening to this. If you have other siblings and children in the school system. Again, this isn't set in stone, but we're kind of playing around with that.
Thank
Does that
you.
make sense?
Yes, thanks.
Yeah, okay, great.
I have a question about preschool.
About preschool?
About preschool. Is there any option for a half day, or is it only 5 days a week, 9 to 4:30?
Yeah. So we had played around with possibly the half day, and we're looking at the list, and there's right now the best option for us and for majority of our families is 5 days. Full
No,
day.
with no half day option.
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, yeah, okay, great. So it was talking, the question is, since school is starting on later on 9/16, are you able to extend the summer camp for a few weeks? Great question. So we're going to week number 10. You should be getting an email today. Are we saying today? So it's first come, first serve, and you folks are the first comes, right? So we're asking you to sign up by Friday of this week and have your payment in by Friday. And also the other thing is, moving forward, we are starting on the 5 days. So that week of the 31st, it is a 5-day week. So it would go the 31st to the 4th. And again, you would sign up by Friday and have your payment in. And then what we then do is, next week on Monday, we're going to open up the enrollment to all of our interest, and because we do have a wait list and folks who have been in our inquiry, so it would go to those group by Monday. So I highly recommend, if you think you need us, sign up for that week. We are also going to be closed the week of the 7th through the 11th. We after this week, after the summer and all, our staff have not been able to have a vacation, so we are going to have them have a vacation the week of the 7th, which is the Labor Day week, through the 11th. And that would also give us a great opportunity to have our cleaners come back, and they've been here, we've amped up our cleaning services, and that will be a whole disinfecting, getting ready for the school year, which then leads the 14th and 15th would be our staff being prepared and ready to open our doors, the 14th and 15th, and then the 16th we open up our doors. So I hope I answered that question for folks.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
So going back to the like my daughter's going into 2nd grade. So let's say that she goes to school Monday, Tuesday. So we have, right now you're thinking the option of Wednesday, and then we have to commit to both the Thursday, Friday, correct?
Yes, correct. And that's,
okay,
again,
that's
it's
fine.
just like, there's not that mix.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to confirm.
Yeah.
And then you think that there'll be like 8 classrooms of 10, so you'll have spots for 80 kids each day?
So yes, we're looking about 8. Is that 8 right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 classrooms. And then the great
I'm
room
sorry,
would
I'm
be-
looking up.
Okay.
8 classrooms, and then it looks like we'll probably also open the great room as another classroom, so there would be 9. So that would be
Okay.
90.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like, are they going to be grouped by like grade or like 2nd, 3rd, 4th? Okay. Okay.
And it'll be
And-
a little bit mixed. We generally do kindergarten, 1st and 2nd, 3rd and 4th, and then 5th and up. We may sort of mix it a little bit. It could be a little bit of K through 1, depending on the numbers, a little bit 1 to 2, but it'll be in the general age group.
Okay. Okay.
And each room will
And like, if we're super interested, can we like put our name in now, or like, I went to shed at the shed where it was a shed outside of Shawshene School, and my mom stood inside at night. So
We probably have pictures, right? Yeah. When are we saying
so
next?
yes,
if
she
we're
was
saying
there. She was
week,
there. So.
right? I'm telling you, we do have old pictures. We'll have to go through.
So I think if we'll send out an email today, sort of describing what we're offering for the week of the 31st. And then and you can respond to that to sign up for that week. And then for the fall, we'd start. Well, that's a good question.
We were going to go through the summer one. I think
I'm good. I'm good for the summer.
Next week, but I already can tell you people are already reaching out with interest. So just send us an email, but that doesn't guarantee. But just we'll be sending out that list next week and we're hitting you all as priorities right now. So.
Hi, Linda.
Yeah.
This is Ann Thomas.
Hi, Ann.
Hi. Just a couple questions. So timing wise, you said that you will send out something to register for the fall?
Yes.
Okay. Is there priority given to those that go for the 3-day option versus the 2-day option, or is it all one and the same?
Huh. That's interesting. I'm not quite sure. That's a good question. Can we circle back with you?
Sure.
On that, because the Wednesday is really to us a little bit is the unknown, because we're thinking, what if our Monday, Tuesday people pick the Wednesday, and then our Thursday, Friday people pick the Wednesday, right?
Yep.
That means that classroom of 10 then becomes 20.
Right.
So that's why we were looking at Wednesdays as basically, and then we're thinking, well, maybe there's parents who are like, no, I'll let my child go to school on Monday, Tuesday, go to shed on Thursday, Friday, and be at home I'll do learning at home on Wednesdays. We just don't know what those numbers look like.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, it does. And that's why I asked the question, because I know from just a numbers perspective, how many heads you'll have on Wednesday goes up exponentially, right?
They could, but maybe not. Maybe people are like, no, I want my child home on Wednesday. So I just don't. We're kind of, this is a guessing game for us, and because we haven't done this, we're getting challenged in so many beautiful ways that we're kind of like, I don't know what that answer is. So and that's why we're looking at all of you. Like, if you all just said, hey, I am definitely interested in Wednesdays, then we know, okay, we could possibly have 20 children in each classroom, right? And then at that, our next problem solving thought was, okay, we'll alternate. 1 week on, you have Wednesday, 1 week off, no Wednesday. So we could do something like that. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And again, I appreciate that it's still very fluid. So understand the complication.
Yeah. And again, I'm going to keep on saying that this is all of your program, and we're here to serve you. We know what we're doing. And I think, we have such pride and joy being with your children and all of you. And we're excited to make something beautiful and creative. And also, our goal is always the social emotional well-being of your children, for all of you, right? So and what we've been observing, again, I'm going to keep on saying it brings me joy every day coming to work, watching our beautiful children just riding their bikes. Where I sit, I get to watch the bike rally race right around, and it's awesome. And they're in the gardens, they're on the 2 acres roaming around. Or I was watching the outdoor classroom yesterday and hung out with that group. It's magical, and it's great seeing children being children.
And I did have one more question
Sure.
about transportation. I think I heard you say that there would no longer be any busing from the schools to the campus because there's no longer after-school programs. has there been any thought given to, on those days that the students are there for full, to work with the services that provide busing to help bring them into the Shed campus and home on those days? Is that something you're even considering?
So if the child does have busing services to be transported to schools, is that the question?
The question is if you would consider providing transportation on the days that they're coming to Shed.
That we would provide?
Or working with the school systems that provide busing now, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'd be curious. Yeah, I mean, we would work with anyone if that's something that the school would coordinate.
Yeah, and the only reason I'm raising that is because, for parents that are working, right, to drop their child off at, say, let's make it up, 9 o'clock, to be there at 9, and then you have to be there to pick them up by, say, what is it, 2:30, 3:30?
Yeah. Well, with this model, we're looking at picking up starting at 4.
Oh, at 4. Okay,
Yeah.
so it would be a little bit later in the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The model that we're looking at right now, we're looking at that pickup would start at about 4 and completed by 4:30.
Okay.
And drop off when, did you say?
So we're
8:30?
looking at 8:50.
Okay.
8:50. And again, this is.
We're not sure when we're.
Say? So I think, again, this is pretty fluid. Where, again, because I'm looking at the hybrid model, and they're not really specifying the times yet in the busing and how that's going to work. So that's why it's still fluid. We're kind of guesstimating what we've been seeing, just saying this could be a possibility.
Okay.
Okay. So, okay, so I'm just reading some more. So what will happen if the public schools switch to go full-time remote? We'll be back on here again. It will be back. The thing about it is, I feel like us opening, that we were able to open during this summer, is that we feel confident that we could really run a beautiful program. So we would run full day, and I would probably, if I was to guess, would probably run programs just like we did during the summer months. Except during the winter months, we'll be with skis and snowshoes and who knows, right? To be outdoors. Shana, you're gonna have to pull out your cross-country skis. Preschool 3 and 4, will they have an outdoor all-day option? Not at this point, but I mean, the preschool program, they've been outside. And Shana, do you want to talk a little bit about the preschool program and what's been happening this summer and what you foresee for this the fall?
Sure. Hello, everybody. My name is Shana Hall. For those of you who don't know me, I'm also one of the directors. We've had a great summer. I mean, prior to the pandemic, the outdoors were always a huge part of our program. So that really didn't change very much. But this summer, they have been getting outside a few hours or more every morning. They come in for lunch, kind of take a rest, which I foresee happening in the fall as well. Getting outside, as early as they can after everybody's kind of been dropped off in the morning and they've had snack. Sometimes they do have snack outside as well. Head outside to lunch. They come in, cool off, regroup. Rest time, it's not a nap, it's just really a time for them to rest their bodies and recharge for the day, and then they get back outside by at least 2 o'clock, and we've been doing pickup outside as well. And I see that translating right into the fall as well, outside as much as we can, especially now. Everybody's gone home very tired and very dirty, and it's been wonderful.
Great, thanks, Shana. So there's also a question about snacks. Again, I believe we are still going to stay we're going to continue with bringing in your own snacks coming into this school year also. Does anyone have, I'm just kind of going through the questions. Some I believe we've answered.
Linda, this is
So
Michelle.
I haven't.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey, thank you so much for holding this call and just moving so quickly after last night's decision. One question that I had, and I think Katie Carbone also had, so if we have registered for after school care, for kindergarten or whatever school age, is there going to be another registration process for this kind of new model, or are we given like first priority for whatever days you're assigned for like Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, Friday? Or how do you see that working?
Great question, because that was kind of our last question of the day as a group, as leadership. So what we did with the summer months, and I think we're going to proceed with the same model. So when COVID-19, we all shut down and everything, we called it a soft receiving registration forms from the summer months. Those families, we kept true blue, and all we needed to do was update what days and all that they needed. So with the applications we already have existing, we will be circling back, and that was a conversation with the directors, is updating what are the days that you're needing. So you're a part of the soft enrollment coming in. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yep. And I assume that once we all kind of find out what group our kids will be in, we can kind of finalize all that. But at this point, you would just want to hear from us that we would want to reserve our spot for whatever cohort our child is in.
Yeah, and you have to also understand what happens is, and again, it's so fluid, is that we had enrollments already for the summer, but we also had families who were kind of saying, we're not comfortable and we're not ready to return back. So there's a lot of, it's an ebb and flow of, we had definitely had people who wanted to be back with us, and some folks that had chose not to. So, and I think we'll probably run into that in the fall. So it's folks' comfort levels. I do have a question. Does anyone have any idea when they are going to be assigning which days? We're not going to be putting out the application.
That was my question.
Quite yet. Do we? I mean, because what we need to know is, for us to really do the programming, we need to know what the days are that folks are assigned to. And I don't know if anyone knows when those days are going to be announced.
So Linda, it's Beth Humbard. I, like many of us, stayed up till 11:30 p.m. last night listening to the school committee. And what I gathered from Superintendent Berman was that in the next week, they were going to reach out and have families select what they were doing, hybrid or remote. And so then once they had that, they would then start to slate kids into classes. So it sounds like the goal was, in the next couple weeks, like maybe even by end of next week, but it was very unclear, as with a lot of this.
Okay.
And so just while I have you, I just want to say, like, you've been awesome at saying you want to know what families want, and
yes,
we have been super impressed with everything you guys have done this summer, and it's like a safe haven for our kids. It's awesome. And happy to chat offline, but I think even just from my conversations with people, but also scrolling through their chat, it seems like you have a good interest in like a kindergarten alternative. And so I would just put in a plug for if we could get, a class of kindergartners as opposed to having them combined with younger kids, that would be a big selling point and meet a big need for a number of us.
Totally. I hear you loud and clear. That's what I'm saying. So
okay, thank you so much.
That's easy for us. We've already started. We just need to go through some of the detailed stuff. But yeah, thank you. That's helpful.
I'll second that.
Okay. No, I mean, if you're looking at it, we're looking at 10 children, right? And we are also other communities. What I'm really interested. I mean, there are other communities that are finding us right now, which has been really awesome to see. They're seeing something special that's happening here.
As long as you hold those spots for those of us who've been with you for a long time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So is that the one, 5?
Yeah. So I guess is it a possibility for families to sign up for 5 days remote, so no in-school learning? Is that a choice for Andover families?
Yeah, that is a choice. Remember,
Okay,
I
so-
had that question,
Yeah. So then could we then offer 5 days a week?
Yeah,
Or
but the child would be doing remote with us and and play, right? So they would be doing remote with us for 5 days and then doing play. You know,
Would
I
that
had
mean
that
they would
question.
cross over groups?
Excuse me?
Sorry to interrupt. Would that mean they would cross over into different pods though if they did that?
No, because they would be in their own pod. They would be in their own pod, but they would be a part of 2 other pods, right? Let me come back to that one because we did talk about that, and I was thinking if parents weren't comfortable sending them to school, not sure why the comfort would be. I'm not sure, so I'd be interested in knowing more about that.
Linda, I think it's less about comfort and more about maybe offering like a consistent, full experience for kids versus the choppiness of 2 days, 1 day, 2 day, grandma's house, this place, that place. So for kindergarten, it becomes a consistent experience, I think, to come to you.
Okay, gotcha.
Probably like an outdoor option with that, because I, for example, might be considering remote learning, but I would be comfortable for my child to do something that's just outside. So
yeah,
I don't know if that would work like stuff-wise to have any like outside options for kids that are doing remote learning. I know it's hard with the stuff probably, but yeah, I mean that might be something as well.
So here's another thing. I mean, we're also talking if there's, again, we're making this up as we go. If we find that we have 10 children, because that's what it is, it's 10 children and families that want this 5-day remote and a lot of outdoors in between, there we have a classroom. Does that make sense?
What happens if you have 20 people that want it?
Then we would have 2 classrooms.
Yeah, because I think the comfort level is that they're going to be with 10 kids, and that's the only 10 kids they're going to be with throughout the school year, as opposed to 10 kids at public and then 10 potentially new kids at, or 9 potentially new kids at Shed, right? So you're just increasing your touch points with people.
Right. Yeah. That's interesting. So this is good because now we have more things to kind of put out there, right? And to get more feedback. Can I go back to Rachel? We have 2 board members here on our call today who are also parents. Carla, you're still here, and Rachel. I wanted to give this opportunity if you'd like to, any insight, and I have to also say, during this whole COVID-19, our board members have been fantastic. They have been behind the scenes supporting all the staff here and all the children and families, and it's important work that they're all doing. And I feel truly blessed to be the executive director of this awesome organization and also having such support from an incredible board of directors. And I just wanted to put it out there to see if you have anything to add to this conversation or thoughts, insights. Go for it.
Yeah, thanks so much, Linda. We've had an incredible experience, not exactly what we anticipated probably as we started the year. But we had a couple, I think, things that drove all of our collective work with the leaders of Shed, starting with number 1, taking care of the staff, which I think has yielded great dividends throughout the summer with a really dedicated and ready to go team, and making them feel that we wanted to keep them and cared about them from day 1. Number 2, creating a safe environment that followed all regulations and rules. And number 3, having an enormous amount of energy and excitement around bold new ideas. And I think you guys have been the pioneers of that. How lucky our kids are to be benefiting from that. For those of you who have your kids in summer camp and are seeing just the incredible breadth of programming, it's incredible. So you can just imagine how that's going to evolve in the coming year. And you know, we just appreciate you. We are energized by you guys, the leaders of the school, and are so excited for all the great things to come, even as new things will evolve even in the coming weeks, we know, as you gather all this feedback and fill up your programs. I've been saying from the beginning, it's going to be a crazy rush to shed from camp to now the school and everything else that's going to fill in between. So I think maybe one thing, Dina, would be to say, you know, a lot of people may have kind of their own individual situation that might be useful to understand, but maybe this forum isn't perfect for. Is there a space for a best way for people to get in touch with you guys to talk about maybe their pieces of feedback that may add up to a common thread, similar to this kind of kindergarten alternative idea or the outdoor education idea, just to make sure that we have a complete set of feedback? Do you want them to email you directly?
I think the kindergarten piece, sort of having our own kindergarten program, came from a lot of emails from families saying, I don't know what the fall is going to look like. I'd really like my kindergarten child to be in a program that is not remote, but really hands-on. So that's where we started the kindergarten conversation. So I think the email is the best route to, I guess, to any of the directors, so that we can sort of pool all the information, because we all talk and get together to figure out what we need to do and what the plan should be. So I think that works. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Carla, are you still on here? I'm not sure if she's.
Are children required to wear masks?
Oh, sorry, Carla?
I don't think that was Carla.
Okay.
Oh, so I have a question. Are children allowed to wear masks?
Allowed?
Sorry, do they have to wear masks? Are
So with the
face shields?
So with EEC guidelines, they're encouraged but not required. We try to promote more of the social distancing. We try to, we're working really hard with the hand washing and cleaning and being outdoors a lot. So it is not required. We definitely have some children that seem to want to wear them, or it's their family's comfort level to wear them, and it would never be discouraged. But it's not. We try we don't want to be the sort of mask police. We try to remind them we try to really get outside a lot. We remind them to sort of space out. But that being said, we don't jump on them if they get close to another child. We sort of give them that space to sort of organically play, and then just work with them that way.
Okay, thanks.
We lost.
You lose someone?
Are we frozen?
Are we frozen? No, we're not good. Okay. That was okay. So there's also questions about, we're interested in the outdoor option for 3-year-olds, but part-time afternoon. Okay. So we'll have to go back to that. If Springboard child is not outside group, how often would they be outside? Does anyone want to, Shana, do you want to answer that? Is Karen on here also about, we're outdoors all the time, so I'm not sure if someone wants to talk about the ratios.
Kind of similar to the when I was describing kind of our Monarch Day here, the outdoors has always been a huge part of our program, so we don't, obviously that's not going to change now, so encouraging to go outside more. It'll just be a different format. The outside group will be outside all day long. Our Springboard group will be outside all day too. At times as well. It won't be obviously as extreme as the outdoor group, but it's still a huge part of our program and our philosophy, and a lot of learning takes place out there, and we're not going to take that away from them. So yes, they will be outside just as much as they have been in the past, and even more.
Okay. Thank you so much, Shana. I'm just reading through. I think what we'll do is we have some work to do further about the Forest Kindergarten, our kindergarten choices, and our Springboard choices. So we will, it seems like a lot of questions around that, and we will go ahead and go, we need to go deeper as a team to really firm it up. Does anyone have any other questions as I'm reading through?
Any changes to the cancellation policy or commitment you'll ask families to make when they're signing up for these choices?
I believe that's another piece that we have not gone through yet. And I believe for our board of directors, we'll be chatting about that, what's going to make sense moving forward.
Great.
So we have a meeting on Monday, so that will be a part of the discussions.
We'll be ready.
Excellent.
Linda, if we could recommend that there be some flexibility, at least until families get a rhythm and kind of get the hang of how this hybrid model will work, we would appreciate the board's consideration when it comes to cancellation policies, et cetera.
Absolutely. Okay, so
one other thread I think I've heard today that maybe to add to the list of things to discuss, and I don't know if it will be possible to accommodate, but it is a big change to go from part-time short day preschool to full-time full day. So is there any flexibility in there for either the commitment or the day length or even the model? It's an all outside afternoons, I don't know, that we could accommodate for the 3 and 4 year olds. That's another thing I've heard. People seem a little hesitant to jump to, 40 hours a week for a 3-year-old. So
right,
just exploring that as well with families that are in that pool.
Thank you.
Just a question about signing up for the fall, and sorry if I missed this, but should we wait until we get further information with sign up like details, or should we email you guys and express our interest if we are interested, if our children are going to be doing the remote school option and we know that we're interested in supplementing that on the remote days?
Yeah. So that's a good, earlier I just said, I would go ahead. I think it never hurts communicating with the directors, but it doesn't guarantee that that is your enrollment, because what's happening also is that we're really waiting for, like, when you get all your schedules and you know that your child is the Monday, Tuesday, that option 1, I guess it's plan A or whatever, that's when we're going to go immediately out to our priority people to say, now is the time to sign up and confirm. Oh, is it timing out?
Oh, no, I don't know if it times
No,
out.
it shouldn't time out. We're just wondering if the Zoom will time out. It shouldn't time out unless you put it in for an hour.
I don't know.
Okay, we'll see. If we disappear, we'll know, right? Then we'll sign back in again. Did I answer that question?
Yep, you did. Thank you.
Yeah, it's just right now, from today, all about planning is like, we need to know what your children's schedules are, because for you to go ahead and register right now, it's like, what if we have 200 children for Monday, Tuesday? We need to know where what the children's schedules are, so we can plan accordingly.
Yep.
Other questions?
Linda, it's not a question, it's just a big thank you. It's Rodrigo here.
Oh, thank you. It's our pleasure. It's been, thank you. Totally. It's been totally a pleasure. We're having so much fun. It's bringing us such joy. Okay, lots of kindergarten alternative. We have some work to do, which is exciting. I like that. Keeps us busy and creative, right? A lot of outdoor options, in which we love. I think another follow-up that we are going to be talking about, I'm on another Zoom call for the Nature Alliance. I believe it's on Thursday. And I'm following what Maine is doing. And there's some communities in Maine where they are really setting up for the outdoor nature-based for all of their children that are in school, in their school age. And that means that everyone is going to be provided with snow pants and all the right gear, snow boots and jackets and all the appropriate requirements to be outdoors for many, many hours, right? And as long as we have the right equipment, we could do a lot of fabulous things outdoors in that learning environment. So I'll be popping on that call on Thursday and really seeing if there's any models that we could be looking at here in Andover to be really supporting our children in the great outdoors. Oh, someone had said, I will assume no before school programs in schools. I don't believe so. Again, it's about the before school. So again, on the pricing, we will get to that. Okay, so the other question is during school vacation weeks, would we be open? Again, great question. Let's add that for questions to be answered. How do I support children on remote learning days of the hybrid model? Oh, how do you support the children? So we are, right now, we are, sorry if I'm, how do we support? So we're right now in the planning stages of that. We do know that it would be 10 children per classroom with one staff members. So we are really working through the virtual. What would that possibly look like? We are right now amping up our internet connection. So we're working with our tech person, actually a couple tech people. We need to supercharge and also have all the safety measurements for our children to be safely online while they're here. So we're in the planning processes of that. And then we're also trying to navigate when we start meeting with the staff, how are we going to do this? You know, if everyone has their Chromebook plus their headsets, what is that going to look like? And yeah, so we're problem solving that, how we're going to do that. I think I had gone through, unless I missed, is there any other pressing questions right now? Was this helpful, I hope? Helpful, yeah. We're here, so please reach out to us. We can, you know, as we're going through this process, it's very similar when we were going through COVID-19 as a team. We met weekly, twice a week, really just trying to problem solve and work together on what's going to work. So if that's something we need to do as we're learning more and more about the hybrid learning model, and then how we as how we can be of service for all of you. And well, hey, our main objective is really to get through this and also making sure we're all healthy and solid and, you know, our social emotional for our children. That's the most important. And for all of you, you know, so we're here for you. So if that's it from us.
Thank you so much, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
I just want to see. I might keep the chat so I know. Save chat. But where did it go?
Can I print it?
I'm trying to think. Like, I'm not sure like where it went. But we need to stop. Video?
Hold it down.